Honourable Member for Grosile.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, before I begin, let me also join you in acknowledging the presence of the young students who are here at this House of Assembly to witness this year's budget debate. And I note, Madam Speaker, that my own daughter is a member of that classroom, as well as the daughter of the Honourable Member for Swazelle, Honourable Rufus Buski. I wish to welcome all of you. I hope you enjoy today's session. Madam Speaker, I rise in support of the budget statement delivered by the Honourable Minister for Finance for 2011-2012. I strongly believe that the strategic priorities for this year's budget are succinctly captured by the theme, namely, creating a safe and secure environment and rebuilding communities while transforming the economy to attain sustainable development is most apt, as it provides us with a blueprint for economic recovery and growth and higher and improved standards of living for all citizens of St. Lucia. The policies articulated in the budget are realistic, sound, feasible, and most appropriate to deal with the external and domestic challenges that we face. Having endured high oil prices, then the worst economic memory, the ravaging effects of Hurricane Thomas and other natural disasters, again, Madam Speaker, with high oil prices. And it appears, Madam Speaker, that a series of adverse economic and natural shocks have conspired to pound St. Lucia so as to leave us in a continuous vertigo. Madam Speaker, I am, however, proud to say that our government has met each and every challenge head-on. Crafting this budget for the fiscal year 2011-2012 was a challenging task. There were serious economic dilemmas to address and very tough economic decisions to make. I believe that this government has chosen wisely and opted for ensuring that St. Lucia has a blend of policies that provide for anchoring the economy on a sustainable fiscal path, addressing the scourge of crime, reducing poverty, and providing the enabling environment for economic growth and development. It is no easy task, Madam Speaker, to balance the economic, social, and developmental objectives of our government within the current harsh economic environment that confronts us. If the global economic situation stabilizes, as the IMF predicts, this budget will provide the appropriate fiscal stimulus to put the economy back on the path of economic recovery. At the same time, I believe this budget is responsible and prudent in that it has not resulted in an excessive increase in borrowing and debt. Against all odds, Madam Speaker, I note that St. Lucia economy grew at a commendable rate of 4.4% for 2010. This is testimony to the smart policies of our government, and I know that we have had to make sacrifices along the way. Our policies, which have remained consistent, flexible, and pragmatic, are beginning to bear fruit, and I note that the ECCB has projected growth of 5.4% for 2011. Madam Speaker, if I may, I would like now to turn to my portfolios, and I will begin with the Ministry of Public Service and Human Resource Development. Organizational development, Madam Speaker. This division projects as part of the Public Sector Performance Improvement Project Initiative and is from the IDF of the World Bank. The main objectives of the initiative are as follows: the strengthening of public sector institutions, and in this regard, Madam Speaker, a functional review of the Ministry of Communications and the Ministry of Social Transformation was undertaken. The strengthening of the capabilities of the Ministry of the Public Service and enhance public sector performance both at the agency and individual level. And the following projects, Madam Speaker, were conducted: the review of human resource management decentralization practices, the review of the human resource management legal framework, and the preparation of drafting instructions policy framework for new legislation. The intention here is to develop human resource management legislation that will provide for an efficient, productive, and transparent public service. In keeping with a modern public service, Madam Speaker, these legislations will replace the existing staff orders for the public service of St. Lucia. The consultant will be drafting the Public Service Commission regulations and the Public Service Bill and the Public Service Bill as well. Madam Speaker, the final component of the initiative is the review of the classification and pay plan of the St. Lucia Public Service. I wish to highlight projects to be undertaken this year, Madam Speaker, and these are the reconstruction of the stewards' quarters at Government House, the reorganization of the office space on the second floor of the Graham Louisy Administrative Building, National ICT Office, thus negating the need to continue current rental arrangements. Movement to the ground floor of the Graham Louisy Administrative Building to enhance and uplift the entrance, but more importantly, to assist in the redesign of the space to accommodate much-needed advanced security measures. Madam Speaker, because of the high cost associated with the installation of new air conditioning units throughout the government service, the Ministry will embark upon a pilot energy-saving air conditioning system. I'm sure the member for Beaufort North will be happy to hear this, considering the comments that he made with regard to energy conservation. Available literature on this new type of system has shown significant savings can be realized. It is our intention that once we are able to realize savings, that this project will be extended to the wider public service. Human resource development, Madam Speaker. I'd like to highlight the work of the training division for 2010-2011. During the last financial year, high priority was given to our Human Capital Development Program. In this regard, I am proud to say that the Ministry of the Public Service made significant strides in both in-service, that is in-house and overseas, for public officers, and national training through scholarship opportunities and financial assistance, particularly for students coming from low-income households. In-service training for public officers, Madam Speaker. Persons in key leadership positions, including ministers, permanent secretaries, and deputy permanent secretaries, received training geared towards strengthening leadership capabilities required to transform the public service into one that provides excellent customer service delivery. Through the support of the Governance and Institutional Development Division of the Commonwealth Secretariat, the following learning opportunities were provided. So, learning opportunities for persons in leadership positions, as well as those who showed potential for assuming leadership roles. Madam Speaker, I wish to place on record in this Honorable House our appreciation for the tremendous support, both financial and technical, that the Governance and Institutional Development Division of the Commonwealth Secretariat has provided to the Government of St. Lucia. While we are making strides in improving our public service, we recognize that there is so much more learning required to drive public service excellence. To this end, the Government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of the Public Service and Human Resource Development, has provided additional funding for a number of training programs and other learning opportunities for persons at all levels within the public service. Members would be pleased to note that the number of officers who received training in 2010-2011 increased by 100%. Madam Speaker, the development of human capital and national training, a high priority